we're live. Hey, what's up? Sorry, I'm a little late. Hey, what's up? I see somebody. I see somebody in the chat. Yeah, somebody was giving me a hard time about my coverage yesterday. There are a lot of people who are like, actually, they're gay for Nick Fuentes, basically. They think they're not, or I don't know exactly how it works. But I didn't even go after Nick Fuentes, but people are like, oh, I can't believe. But it is kind of a gay op. It is a gay op. I agree with that. And there might be, nefarious people behind it too. Well, there is. There's at least Milo. Yeah, we have a person in the chat. This is funny. This is like a typical. Sorry, Socks. Socks. Don't worry about it. We can still be friends. I actually didn't call Nick gay. I just said he's not heterosexual. That's all. As far as we can tell. That's it. Just based on observation. So I didn't call him gay. I just, think that he might be happier if he embraces like his real self and doesn't, get caught up in the self-hating stuff. You know what I mean? And Catholic, I mean, really, like, can you be a Catholic when you hate everybody? I don't really know. I don't really believe that. Like Ali says he's Catholic, right? And then there are Catholic priests who have sex with boys. Are they really Catholic? Is that really? So I don't know. But not having sex till marriage, you really think he's getting married though? I'm just curious. Do you really? That would be amazing. I would wager on it. Well, he could get married. I mean, you don't have to be straight to get married either. So plenty of gay guys, go along to get along, and then just do their thing on the side. So maybe he will. So anyway, I just want Nick to be happy. I actually like Nick. Although I don't know if he's a fed up or what. If he's not a fed up, then he acts like one. But that's cool. I know people are fans. Prioritizing. Yes, he is going to get married, but he's the political movement's dead, though. Now, socks. The political movement. He signed up for Ye24, right? That was going to be the thing. First, he was like Trump, right? Remember when it was Trump all the way? Even though Nick Fuentes hates Jews, or says he does, and like they're the root of the problem. He supported Trump, who's like, I don't know if he's the most pro-Jewish president ever, as far as like the state of Israel and stuff, but he's up there. I mean, they did name a town after him, and the Golan Heights. So they do have a coin for Trump too over there, and he did move the embassy to Jerusalem. But that movement, Nick decided to go to the Ye24 movement. Now the Ye24 movement is dead. Ye says, leave me alone. So what's Nick going to do? Nick was pretty stoked, right? I remember I watched the show. He was stoked. He was like, oh, yes, like he finally made it. He finally do something important. But now Kanye's like disavowed. Ye disavowed him. And, it is funny. Like, they hate black people, but then there's the Ye campaign. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, actually, we kind of like black people. Or they hate black people, but love to listen to rap music, for example. Just it was pretty consistent. Ye DM was fake. I haven't made a claim about a DM. I appreciate the conversation, though. I appreciate it. It gives me something to talk about. Ye DM was fake. Well, I can look into that. I don't even know about a DM. Don't even know about a DM. I know about an article in the Daily Beast that some people are quoting. So we can look at that and see. And then if something's fake, yeah. It says, WTF, do I even verify shit before I do a show? I actually don't have time these days. So we go on the show and then we look at it and then we try to figure it out like in real time together. like as a community. We make the decision. We're like, oh, what's true and what's not in real time. So you get to see stuff as it happens. And so one of the things I haven't had time to research yet is the leaked government documents. So I want to look into that, see what people have to say about that. But yeah, I could tell you, I mean, I could get into it. I mean, I kind of think I know. I could show you, there's somebody involved in the campaign against Nick Fuentes and Ali Alexander, who is, an influential behind the scenes kind of player. But I don't want to get into it because every time I talk about this person, he I don't know. It's really weird. Actually, but anyway, yes, there are people out to get Nick Fuentes and Ali Alexander. And I don't know. I was actually really nice about Nick Fuentes. I've had Nick Fuentes on my show. I appreciate him. I appreciate him as a human being and stuff. I think the things he says are, totally outrageous. And he acts like a Fed, he acts like a Fed. Even if he's not a Fed, he does the work for them by discrediting, anybody who's associated with him and stuff. So, I mean, he basically, well, it certainly didn't sink the Trump campaign like they were hoping when they went to that dinner with Trump. But yeah, I mean, he's I understand why people behind the scenes might want to get rid of him because I don't think he's good for anything. But except for entertainment, I guess. But people do like him. Yeah, I woke up this morning. Somebody was like, oh, yeah, somebody was defending Nick Fuentes' honor. It's so cute. Men, boys or men or whatever. They're like, oh, don't attack Nick Fuentes. Why are you talking about Nick Fuentes? All right, so I'll talk about that. And but anyway, it's not a big deal. I don't even think it's crazy. If you're let's say, for example, let's say you're trying to influence politics and stuff. You might think, oh, this America First stuff is really toxic, like Laura Loomer. And let's say you like DeSantis. Let's say you don't like Trump, for example. Yeah, I'm not even saying. Let's say you don't like Trump. You don't like all the anti-Semites and stuff. Let's say you don't like them. And you don't want stuff that's toxic for the conservative movement. And you find certain people toxic. And then, so Ali, though, Ali, certainly there was something there. So I don't know. I felt compelled to cover it, regardless of the source, regardless of how nefarious the source may have been. So, but because I actually I can understand that. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, that makes sense. It started to dawn on me. I was like, oh, this is like an op. It is. And then I was like, oh, I understand it. I know why they're doing it. And I actually, I agree. It makes sense. But I don't agree with sneaky tactics and stuff necessarily. But if you get real information, I will talk about it for sure. I talk about real information all the time. There are no toxic people. You're joking, right? Or something. I think, or I don't know. I'm going to take it as if you're just being humorous. I can understand that. They're probably like, oh yeah, we got to crush. That's probably what they're thinking. Whoever it is. Like, oh, we got to crush this movement, right? It's like not good for our brand. So maybe that's what they're trying to do. I'm not trying to help or anything. I just was like, okay, well, Ali, this stuff looks legit. All right. So yeah, I can tell there's going to be, I can tell people have different opinions about it though, but that's fine. Whatever. We have different opinions. On this show, always something to piss people off. So let's take a look at the Ye campaign dropout. I think it was mostly a story in the Daily Beast. So he says, leave him alone. I don't know if Nick was still working for him. I really don't know. That's weird. I did a search for Ye24 and like the first image is actually boobs. Weird. They must just think I want to see boobs for some reason. They still have the Ye24 merchandise. Okay, if I search Ye24, I think people are still calling him Kanye West. Yeah, yep. It is interesting that the media refuses to call Ye by his chosen name. They continue to insist on calling him Kanye West. Whereas if he had changed to transgender, they would certainly recognize whatever his chosen name might be and gender. But because he likes Hitler, but I think he's come around. I don't know. He's having like a bipolar episode and stuff. He's over it. I think that's probably what happened. He's like, oh my God. I don't know. He's tired of it though. I'll show you that story though. So I'll show you that story. We will talk about the leaked documents. I have to wrap up the show by noon because I have a crypto consultation and cryptocurrency. Man, oh man, I was so excited yesterday. Holy crap. Gold is up, silver is up. Silver has been doing great. And then crypto, holy crap. Ethereum is up a ton yesterday. I got to pull up an Ethereum chart. Yeah, I'm starting to feel like this is it. You know, the dollar is starting to go down. The things are happening. The narratives are coming to fruition. The death of the dollar narrative is coming true. Actually, sooner than I thought. Probably because of what we did to Russia. So we can talk about that too. So I have to wrap up. Wow. I've already talked for too long. All right, let's see if we can get people tuned in. We'll see. I don't even know. We're working on the show. It starts around this time. It's going to start around this time, weekdays, maybe 10, maybe 10:30, maybe 11. I got to figure it out. But you got to tune in. Like, we have to get people tuned in. And we have to get coffees. We have to get some coffees. And then if crypto starts to pump, then we got other stuff too. So, all right. Ready for the show? Everybody? 3, 2, 1. Okay, cue musical intro. Boy, that's brilliant. I do think some things in the world are real. Like you guys. You guys are real. Most of you. Most of my listeners, I think, are not just in my head. I think I have the metrics to prove it. You've taken a leap of faith today. What is that sound? And I apologize if you take offense. I'm a little offended myself. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the future.
what it is. Joining you live from sunny California. It's a beautiful day today. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. And I bring you the news, the real news.
Yeah. Yep. Always controversial. Yeah, it's always amazing to me how people come out of the woodwork when you say stuff. It's fun. It is kind of funny. It's kind of gay, really. Is like how guys are for Andrew Tate and Nick Fuentes in particular. Like if you say anything, they're like always white knighting, they'll always come out and be like, oh, how dare you? How dare you say that about my idol, my worship? Like you can't say anything. It's a problem. That's a problem. Yeah. This one, oh man. So anyway, I really don't want to get into it with this guy because I just got misinterpreted at one point as being anti-Semitic, but that's because I make fun of people, and I also have an autistic obsession with numbers. So that's what gets me in trouble with the whole H thing. I'm just like, oh, the number's not. People are like, oh. So anyway, definitely not trying to do that. But yeah, it is funny. All right. What do you guys want to talk about first? What do you guys want to talk about first? Oh man, there's MrBeast news. That was weird. I retweeted this MrBeast news, which I was like, oh wow, this is really kind of like mainstream trans critical news, because MrBeast's friend decided to be trans. And that's what makes the argument so difficult for trans is my wife was telling me that for gay rights, that the way gays convinced people that they should have rights is that it's an immutable characteristic, right? Like you're born that way, right? Which is what I was saying yesterday. I don't know, I don't know if you're always born that way, but certainly I believe some people are born that way. It's not the result of abuse and all that stuff. There are some other cases, but still, anyway, not my point. Whether it is or it isn't, gays convinced the world that being gay isn't a choice. That's what that, basically, which is, well, if it were, then if it was a choice, then gay people would be able to choose to be straight. And throughout history, that's been impossible. So it's never, ever, ever happened. And Milo tried super hard, I guess. Even according to Nick, Milo takes drugs because he thinks so much about being gay. You can't, so. But anyway, trans, like MrBeast's friend, it seems really hard to argue that it's an immutable characteristic or anything when he was a man this whole time, Like it's just a really difficult argument. Like, how do you say, oh no, I was always a woman when you weren't the whole time? I don't know how that's possible. So that's the deal with MrBeast's trans friend. And we don't watch MrBeast, but if you want to be, what I think I learned, because I watched MrBeast MrBeast's interview on Lex Friedman, and I heard him talk about stuff, and he basically said his audience is like teenagers. So if you want millions of views on YouTube, I guess typically you target young people, who I guess are the people who are most on YouTube. I've come to maybe discover. Like if you want to get a lot of views, which if you're monetized is an objective that actually pays, then you target teenage boys, gamers and stuff, I guess. I mean, that's pretty much who sees MrBeast content. So MrBeast has a friend, and I don't know much about it. I mean, certainly I don't watch it. I watched one video of MrBeast where he went to Antarctica, and that was what convinced me the Earth almost can't be flat, was MrBeast's trip to Antarctica. Because when he was there, the sun stayed out 24 hours a day, which is impossible on the most commonly referred to flat Earth map, which is not, which everybody knows, I guess. I think even the people who look at that map know that it doesn't answer all the questions. But on that map, it's impossible to have a 24-hour sun in the South Pole, because there is no South Pole on the flat Earth. So, but maybe you didn't go there. I was like, how do you go to Antarctica? I thought you couldn't even go. But yeah, I was like, oh, I mean, it's totally impossible. It makes the flat Earth map debunked, basically. So anyway, that's MrBeast. Anyway, MrBeast targets youth, and there's a trans person, and really weird, in standing up for this trans person, MrBeast still called him he. So a few people pointed that out, but it's almost hilarious. So there are a few tweets, I mean, lately, a lot of times tweets are just unintentionally hilarious. Like Stephen King had one. It's because like people don't understand the new rules sometimes, and so they say stuff that's unintentionally hilarious. One of them, which wasn't about rules, was the moon landing. That was hilarious from that, yeah, I want to call him a crisis actor. That's not allowed though. David Hogg. No, you can't. You can't do that. I got in trouble for that a long time ago. I remember, man, David Hogg. Man, if you made a video about him, I never even said he was that thing you're not supposed to say, but I said something. Yeah, I just making videos about him. Man, they got strikes. I remember that Parkland shooting. Holy cow. David Hogg, so funny. Anyway, he tweeted this thing. He was like, "You're telling me, yeah, we can do this," and he has a newspaper article photograph below his tweet. He's like, "You're saying we can do this, and we can't solve gun violence or whatever." And the picture he showed was man lands on the moon, and so I laughed out loud for sure. I was like, oh, that's so funny. It is funny if people are like, "You're telling me if we can put a man on the moon and bring him back safely, that we can do anything." That's what people say. That's why it's such a stupid deception. So much stuff is based around the lie that we actually went there. So anyway, that was one funny tweet that I saw. And then there was another funny tweet from Stephen King yesterday. Oh, by the way, check this out. Oh man, I might have fell victim to an op of some sort. I might have fallen victim to an op. Interesting. The person, okay, so I'll just tell you this, okay, without making accusations about anything. The person who tagged me in the original tweet. Should I even get it? I don't even know if I want to get into this. I don't even know if I want to get into this. But there's something behind the thing, but it's all right. I don't need it. I don't need the headaches, but I have an idea. I have a very good idea. Let me show you this instead. Okay. This is it right here. Here is Stephen King, unintentionally funniest tweet of the day from yesterday. I'll show you that. Oh, if you want to support the show, cool. We got a few people here. That's good. Okay, we're doing good. All I have to do is like keep you guys entertained for the rest of the time. Let's see if we can do it. If you're entertained and you want to be entertained later, the way to I believe in incentives. We'll talk about incentives. Incentives. There are incentives for the way Nick Fuentes is. There are incentives for everybody. Even like me, everybody's got them. You say certain things, you get a certain response. If you say certain things, you get the response you're looking for, you might continue to say those things or expound upon those things. And then eventually you might become totally radicalized and just start saying and you might just start saying progressively more and more crazy, not crazy. I don't want to say crazy, but you start pumping up the rhetoric because you get the response, and it just keeps going and going until eventually you're saying shit that's kind of crazy, like that's really crazy, like objectively. I mean, to a normal person, like eventually you get divorced from reality because of, maybe even being an influencer and stuff, because you become what your audience wanted you to be, but you don't realize that you no longer, you've like separated yourself from reality. Anyway, that's a different thing. Ready. Pirate X Pirate says you never read my coffee. Well, I'll tell you this. I'll read it now. Pirate X Pirate said he doesn't have enough Ethereum. I can't believe it. Ethereum was what I was thinking. Like Ethereum was what I was counting on. Pirate, you asked me about a homosexual experience. I did respond to that. Is that not the coffee you're talking about? The last coffee I have from you, Pirate X Pirate, is Nate, have you ever had a homosexual experience? And I explained that I kind of did because I played a character in a scene for an acting class that was gay, and I had to kiss a guy in that scene. And I didn't, and I found out that I really don't like it, And then what I was suggesting yesterday was, like, if you find out you do like that, then it's not that you were groomed into being gay, but you were gay. That's what I was proposing. So, but if that's it, Pirate. Okay, well, I got it for you this time. So load up your next question. It'll just cost at least one coffee. So yeah, go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil and you can ask me personal questions just like that. And I might even tell you the answer. buymeacoffee.com/lift the veil. What do you think? Do you think we should change the name or what? I was thinking of just going to Nathan Stoltman. What do you think of that? Yeah, that's crazy. I go back and forth between trying to, like, I hope my job is safe right now because it's such a menial job, you know. I'm hoping like they don't care if people think you're whatever they think you are, you know, transphobic, anti-Semitic, whatever it is, whatever people tell them, or if somebody wants to do like a gay op on me, like I hope that they don't care, my current employer. But before I go back and forth. That's why it's hard for me to have a regular job, because people find me offensive, you know? And that's what I'm saying about the radicalization, I guess. Is like, you guys don't find me offensive. Like, you guys wish I'd be more offensive. See, that's the thing. Like, if it was up to you guys, it was up to my audience, I'd be like really homophobic, for example, and kind of racist too, probably. Maybe I'd have to do a poll. I'd have to do polls, but it always shocks me, you know? So, like, I already crossed enough lines for normal people. I try to stay in touch with reality if I can. buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil if you want to support the show, or you can drop super chats. Super chats. All right, this is an unintentionally funny tweet of the day yesterday, along with my intentionally hilarious reply. Let's see. Hold on. Let me get to the show. Ali. No, that's not it. Why does it say Ali files underage victim speaks out live? That's not the title, right? No, that's weird. Okay, hold on. I better refresh this. Stephen King yesterday said, "It has been said before, but it bears repeating. If men could get pregnant, abortion would be a sacrament." Yeah, I just was like, oh, like I was almost like, high five, Stephen King. Like, because if you don't keep up, you got to keep up with the times. If you don't keep up, you unintentionally can be hateful, transphobic. Like, if you just don't keep up with the times, like, that was a good joke back in the day, like people used to do that joke. It's a classic joke. Classic. Oh, if men knew what women went through, or if men, just classic joke. Can't do it anymore. Funny. Can't do it anymore because actually, men can get pregnant. That's the problem. According to the standards, like in reality today. That's what they say. That's why it's funny. I don't know. I always laugh when the news gets it wrong. When I know, it's like when I know that they're misgendering somebody, for example, I always laugh that like the liberals sometimes haven't figured it out yet. Like with the transgender shooter that they kept calling her she, even though the standards of today dictate that the mass shooter at the Christian school was just a guy. Always was. What are you talking about, bigot? But all the newspapers, she, woman. I was like, I don't think you guys figure. I think you guys got to catch up. Like, I'm always surprised because they're the ones trying to tell us we're bigots all the time, for misgendering people and stuff. And then they totally, just because it has been said before, but it bears repeating. If men could get pregnant, abortion would be a sacrament. So most people in the comments were like, oh, you're a transphobe, just effing with him. Oh, you're a transphobe. Just joking. And so I just said, if men can't get pregnant, then what is this doing in my phone? Which is the pregnant man emoji. It's like, obviously, like, obviously, you know what I mean? Obviously, men can get pregnant. Obviously. I mean, why would there be an emoji in my phone? Like, it's crazy. Like, that's such a crazy thing to say, Stephen King. It's like, get with it, man. Obviously. I mean, look, like, they wouldn't just put an emoji in your phone, like, if it didn't happen, right? Unless it was a thing. So that's one of my more popular tweets. Mostly I tweet and get and followers, and I lose followers lately. But that was a good tweet. So trying to make some friends. We'll see. Thanks, Bushidoki. Thanks for the super chat. Awesome. In a world of upside down logic, truth is offensive and common sense is considered profound. Yeah, man. We live like I'm totally disillusioned with people acting with common sense. I just don't think it happens. Now, when I see somebody with common sense, I'm like, hey, like, I appreciate you, because there are like so few people. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. But you know what? I got set up on this. I don't know. I have no idea. I really have no idea. Can't get into it. So that was one unintentionally hilarious tweet. And then there was another one too, actually. That, man, made me laugh. I don't know if it's right, but I got to edit my profile. So now it says, sometimes I make memes. Sometimes I make memes. How can we be more? How can I be even more succinct and even more profound? Let's see. What did I talk about? This tweet. I mean, that was the still makes me laugh every time I look at it. Non-binary people, man. That's my target. I don't hate anybody. I really don't hate people, but I mean, let's at least laugh or something. Come on. And the headline too. Apparently it's a real thing. Let me make sure it's real. If it's not real, if somebody's put me on, then okay. Like, I was thinking, oh man, like, I make funny stuff with the AI picture makers, but I can't even come up with something as goofy as this. It's just so, like, there's so, like, count the ways that it doesn't make sense. What are you doing? Like, he doesn't even have, I don't know what they did to put a bra for what. He doesn't even have, he's non-binary. Come on, man. He's got the happy trail and everything, it's kind of like, there are just so many different things. The earrings, the long hair, the goatee, the eyebrows, the underarm hair, the happy trail. Like, and then he's wearing women's underwear, which isn't designed for a man's body, It's like, it's not made, like, what do you do with your penis and stuff? I mean, I'm trying, like, women's underwear is for people who are women with hips and no penis. Like, what? Yeah, everything is so stupid. Like, why are you wearing a bra? For what, man? Girls wear bras to hold their freaking boobs. Because if they don't wear, because if they don't wear them, either their nipples pop out and people stare at them, or they need the support. Like, what? Like, normally you'd just be a cross dresser. That, like, they would just call you like a They just say you were like a pervert or something, that you like to dress up like women. I remember, man, times were so much simpler. Like there was a time when it was like, oh, I found out my husband dress like puts on my clothes when I'm not home or something. Like what a pervert. Or now it's like, oh yeah, I found my husband wearing my clothes, and isn't he stunning and brave? Bushidoki goes, 10 years ago, I thought it'd be, I mean, that's what's it's so unintentionally hilarious, because then the headline also says non-binary people are also hot. And you're looking, and the picture is like so clearly, it's just not, it's nothing hot. Hot? What do you mean hot? Who's supposed to be attracted? I don't know who's it's meant to appeal to. Gay guys, I guess, or are gay guys into that? I don't know. Are women supposed to be into that? Are they the ones who are supposed to think it's hot? Doesn't seem hot. Unintentionally hilarious. Oh, the happy trail. I mean, come on. There was, hold on, I thought I saw, I thought they said in this tweet thread that it was a real picture. I can make Google search for a picture, right? Let's see. Search image with Google. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, that's weird. It doesn't show up on my screen. Huh. That's really interesting. I can see something you can't see. Weird. I'm using Google's. This is interesting. I've never done this before. No results for this image. Huh? Really interesting. Huh. No results. Find image source. Okay. A few people are tweeting about it. Interesting. You guys can't see the tool. There's a tool in Google. If you right click on the image, you can go, what does it say? Search image with Google. And it brings up this thing. It says it's called Google Lens, which will tell you. So it's showing me other people that tweeted about it. Oh my God, that looks like a trans person. No minors, please. Oh, wow. This is one of those anime accounts. No minors, please. Oh, boy. But I can't find the picture. Interesting. Okay. Well, I didn't find it there. Let's see if I find it here. It was mostly trans people. Wow, all these trans people are into anime. All of them have anime PFPs. I just clicked on another profile that said it had the image, and it says 18, she, they, trans. Yeah. Okay. So maybe it is real, but hilarious if it is. So anyway, that's that story. No big deal. Unintentionally hilarious tweet. Okay, I can close that. All right, you guys want to talk about the Ye campaign? I'll show you that. Oops. Okay, I'll close that. I'm checking the chat too. All right, I'll show you this. Ready? Oh, this is a good comment. Very good comment by Maxime. Very important to remember. Yeah, I just see a lot of you guys like I think I make it clear like my opinions, lately. But I do see a lot of people that really go over the top with their rhetoric, like further than they have to go. Oh, they belong in, put them all, like round them all up, put in camps kind of thing. Oh, they all belong in mental institutions and stuff like that. So Maxime, good reminder, who says, I know a trans person and they are not like what these corporations prop up. What is shown in the media is designed to radicalize people. Well, I mean, Dylan Mulvaney, I wouldn't just blame the media. People are radicalized, I believe, by actual things. Like Dylan Mulvaney offends, people, some people, women in particular, on his own, without the media. And the media defends Dylan Mulvaney. But on the other side, they are radical. But no, I agree with you. I mean, I think it's really important to remember, I don't have a problem. Like, I don't have a problem with anybody doing whatever they want. And like, something fundamental to me is that I hate when someone tells me what to do, basically. If I don't, if I think it's stupid, at least, or if I want to do something else. So, and if I wanted to dress up as a woman, then I wouldn't want anybody telling me, because what the hell? Who cares, man? Like, if I want to act like a woman, that's my right, damn it. And it doesn't mean that I'm not a good person or I don't deserve to exist and stuff. It's just what I want to do. So if other people want to do that, no big deal, right? If that's what they're into. I think, or I'm concerned that there are, like, the statistics show that a lot of people aren't happy doing it. So I'm concerned that it's not, like, people are maybe being misled, by people like Dylan Mulvaney, who are so successful acting like a woman, that they're going to have the same experience, that their life is going to also change for the better, and it's going to be awesome, and they're going to be like Dylan Mulvaney, and everybody will love them. They'll get sponsorship deals, all that stuff. That's what I worry about, is people think, oh, it's just all, just all roses and like celebration, and it's just awesome, when in reality, trans people have a lot of struggles, like their struggles don't really go away like they think they will because of changing that one thing. That's all. But I appreciate that you said that. Yeah, I saw somebody, I was under some post yesterday on Twitter, and I just saw people they were so mad. I don't know what what I think it was about, actually. I think it was the MrBeast thing. I think it was commentary. I think it was like a tweet about the MrBeast thing. And it's just like, the people were so, it wasn't any kind of compassion or anything for, like, this person who just, it's just like hatred. Yeah, I saw this person who says that they're fighting for depolarization, that they're trying to teach people how polarization makes things even worse, and how, like, everything is about trying to get us more polarized. So I'm really thinking about it. I mean, I mentioned my idea for an ad campaign for Bud but it's almost like a, like, I have this wish, because I wish people would get along, and like, I don't like it when people feel like they can't talk to me because they think I'm hateful, or they think it's, like, they think, oh, like, like, when people make judgments about me based on that, Like I want to be able to hang out with anybody. Like I was thinking about trying to get David Hogg on my show. So anyway, so my idea for an ad would be like people who disagree with each other, maybe politically, just hanging out and having a beer. Something about that just makes me feel better. I just like the idea that people can get along, because I understand what liberals think and why they think they're being compassionate and all this stuff. I get it. They're like, I don't think they're evil. I don't think it's all satanic. I think people like genuinely think, oh, like I care about people. I want to be accepting, etc. I get it. They're wrong. They're completely 100% wrong. But I get it. I get where they're coming from. So yeah, I just wish we had a world where it's like people weren't trying to kill each other. That would be great, So it'd be cool if a beer company was like trying to promote that. That's all. They were like, oh, instead of promoting division, because actually that's what Budweiser ended up doing, is they were like, okay, we funded Dylan Mulvaney, and people got mad, and it was almost exactly what I suggested. Actually, I mean, completely what Budweiser did, to try to save themselves from the debacle, sponsoring Dylan Mulvaney and the backlash and stuff. I just said, okay, I made a pitch for it. I said, advertising should be inclusive. I said exactly that. You can go back to my shows. I just said, this is what they were doing. They advertised to everybody. It's like, it's normal. They've been advertising to gays forever. Nobody cared because they advertise to the gays directly. They don't try to push it on the straight people. So nobody cared. And in the case of Dylan Mulvaney, actually, they didn't intend for it. It was never an advertisement. They never released a can to the public and stuff. It actually wasn't meant. The advertising wasn't meant for conservatives. So if conservatives were offended, as far as their thinking, they're like, well, we'll make. So anyway, what I said was advertising should be inclusive because everybody buys stuff, right? If you have a product that's for everybody, or even if it's tampons, which they didn't sponsor Dylan for tampons, but even if it was, like, every woman's, it's like, doesn't matter what woman you are. If you're of reproductive age, you need tampons or something like that. You need feminine hygiene products. Like, doesn't matter who you are. So the people that watch Dylan, who like Dylan, need tampons, let's say. They didn't sponsor him though. But if they had, you could justify it with that. It's like, okay, women watch his show, whatever. They're not trying to push it on people who don't like Dylan, etc. So anyway, what I said was advertising should be inclusive, but they never advertise to conservatives. And so what they should do, that's what I said, what they should do is advertise to conservatives. And then what do you know? A few days later, Joe Rogan and his guest, people are talking about his guest, Shane Gillis or something like that, do a paid product placement from what anybody could tell for Bud Light. So that was the Bud Light's way of signaling to right wing, like they're like, in the mind of an executive, like that lady, right? They think, oh, okay, well, why don't we show that we also support conservative values? Basically, that's what you want to do, right? that's what I would do. She's like, okay, well, I wasn't trying to offend you guys. Actually, we support you guys, even if they don't, right? Like, they're like, so that's what I think happened. It's like, they're like, oh, who's right wing? Who are we going to support? And so Joe Rogan, they were like, oh, yeah, Joe Rogan. He's right wing. That's what people say. We'll sponsor him. He's got a huge audience, 12 million or something. So that's what they did. I wonder if they paid the other guy too. And anyway, I called Joe Rogan a sellout for doing that because I think it's disrespectful to the women who are offended, who like by Dylan Mulvaney, mostly. Just like, and he doesn't need the money. You know what I mean? That's what I thought with Joe Rogan. At first, when I put out my video about it, I was like, oh, I wonder if my take is too spicy because I called Joe Rogan a loser and a sellout and stuff. That was my first reaction. But actually, like, I don't really, but I still respect Joe Rogan. And he made a business decision, just like a lot of the decisions he's made, like not talking about the moon landing and stuff. So he made a business decision. They paid him. Could make an argument. Who cares? Like, they want to pay Joe Rogan for an ad. Like, that's good. That means they support Joe Rogan, right? So that's good. Like, if they want to pay you. But the thing is they paid him because they need him. That's the thing about it, is they needed him to give them credibility. So basically they're using him and his credibility and and also, like, people call him a transphobe. So it's like a perfect way for Bud Light to try to smooth things over. Like, oh yeah, people call him transphobic. So if we support him, that shows that like we also are with you guys. But that's the thing, like, they used him to spread the message. And then he's like, oh yeah, I hang out and there's like, it's cool. There's some non-binaries and stuff. And what's the big deal? What's the big deal? I don't know. I understand the argument, and I kind of made the argument for why it wasn't a big deal. Like, I understand that argument 100%. But because I respect the people who are really offended by Dylan Mulvaney, which actually, well, it isn't me. I don't think it can be me because I'm not a woman. Like, he's not making fun of me, you know? So I don't know if I can be offended by it. Like, I think it's ridiculous. Like, it's a joke, I'm not going to take it seriously in a lot of ways. But the people who are offended, I think, are the people who he's making fun of or who he's appropriating. Man, everything on the left is just like, there's so many inconsistencies. It's so crazy. There are just so many inconsistencies. Sometimes things are okay. Like, it's like cultural appropriation is wrong. Cultural appropriation is wrong. Also, like, if you rap along to a song that has the N-word, you're racist. When it's like, but like, you're listening to black music, you appreciate black music, and like, you rap along to it, and it's like, oh, you can't say that. That's one weird example. But the other example is like, oh, you wore a Asian. There's one girl that went to prom. Oh, you wore an Asian themed dress, or oh, you're appropriating Native American stuff. I can understand it. I get it. Like, white people over time have taken black other people's ideas, but black people in particular, but especially with music, and made money with it. So, but a lot of times it's because they really loved the black artists or the black music. But it's true. Like, I understand. Like the Beastie Boys, like, they weren't that great, but they were white and they were doing rap. Rap was cool. And even like Eminem's really good. So, But so, I understand. I get it. But then with trans women, it's never like, oh, they're appropriating. Like, why? Like, they're appropriating 100% what a woman theoretically is, and then they're also doing a stereotype of what a woman is stereotypically. Like the caller who called in and said they have a trans neighbor who mows their lawn in high heels. Like, no women, like a woman doesn't do that, but somebody pretending to be a woman does that because they're doing a stereotype or what have you. But the left doesn't care. Yeah, that's where the woman face, blackface meme comes from. Blackface is wrong, always wrong. Like, even if you're wearing a Halloween costume. Like, what the hell? Even if you're wearing a Halloween costume, like why can't I dress up as OJ? Like, it's funny. Like, why can't I be OJ for Halloween? Have like a knife or something, just as a joke. Oh no, it's blackface. You're what? But oh yeah, like oh no. But if you say you're a woman, like then everybody has to say that too. And then and also you get all the privileges that women get, even though you're, man, to try to make it make sense, I have like no freaking clue. And it's crazy. You can't even you can't talk logic to people. You can't make it make sense to them. They'll just come out and just gaslight you or say stuff that's totally not true. Like the Krasensteins are like, oh, what are people talking about? One of the Krasenstein guys today was like, I saw his tweet. He was attacking Marjorie Taylor Greene. He was like, she says we should ban gender affirming care for people under 18 and that it causes infertility. Elon Musk tweeted about it. Elon Musk tweeted that anyone who gives a minor something that causes infertility, maybe I'll try to find the tweet. It was kind of a significant tweet. He goes, it should be like a felony, they should go to jail. And this Krasenstein was like, what are you talking about? Huh? So I don't know, man. Like, what are they? Dense? Or he's like, what is she, stupid? And I was thinking to myself, are these guys that dense, or like, do they not? I want to take people, like I follow the Krasenstein. I don't know which one I follow. Sometimes he says things that I appreciate. So like I see like he'll say like after the mass shooting, he said, no, it's not important that the shooter was trans, and also it doesn't matter if a shooter is Christian. We shouldn't blame all Christians. So he said this one tweet. So once in a while he says stuff that I appreciate. I understand where he's coming from. He's like, we shouldn't blame a group of people for one person's behavior. That's what he said. I was like, oh, I agree with that. Yeah, I can appreciate that. He's like, I mean, his intention with the tweet was it's about banning guns, but still, at least I appreciate anybody who says, oh yeah, when a Christian shoots up a school or does something crazy, we shouldn't blame all Christians, right? If a gay person does something, we shouldn't blame all gays. When a black person does something, we don't blame all black people. Like that, but then you'll say stuff that's just where you're like, where he says, oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't understand. Like, what are you talking? He goes, gender affirming care doesn't cause infertility. I'm like, and everybody replies to him. And they're like, what do you, it does though. At least in some cases, I mean, and there's literally no argument. Some treatments by their nature make people infertile. So I'm looking for people. That are legit. I'm looking for people who actually like say things and then are willing to look at facts and stuff and not just push whatever the ideology is. And that's on both sides. Provo Kid says, thoughts on why are trans people 6 times more likely to be autistic? Okay. Well, it's an interesting question because I certainly have, like I tell people I'm autistic. I have autistic traits, for sure. If I take the test, there's like a test you can take. If you just look up adult autism test, you can take a test, ask you a bunch of questions. I can tell by the questions and the way I answer them and then the score I get. And, my wife will tell you and stuff. And somebody told me eventually, they were like, somebody with an autistic kid was like, oh, you're like, you're autistic. So as someone who can relate, who should be able to relate to autistic people, I tried to think about it. I was like, oh, what is it about being autistic? All I can think of is that I believe it's a trait. I don't know. Me, and I've noticed about other people I think are autistic or slightly autistic, is a tendency to get obsessed with things, like to a point, like really into things, like really into them, to the point, where you maybe lose touch with like what other people think are normal or whatever. So when I was in high school, like I would go through phases. Like I mastered hacky sacking. I was a freaking amazing hacky sack. I could do all kinds of tricks and stuff. And then I got into yo-yoing. I became like an expert. And I was like into juggling. I was into juggling. I was really good at it. I would just get obsessed with different things. And then throughout my show, sometimes like you'll see different things. Like once it was NFTs, really, really into NFTs, to the detriment of my show. So that's, and I believe it's also that once you're convinced of something, like nobody can talk you out of it. That might be another trait. So I don't know for sure. Like I'm not, I'm just trying to tell you, like from my own analysis of myself and my observations about other people I think are autistic or who identify as autistic. Yeah, it's maybe like a single-mindedness. So I'm just thinking once they get the idea in their head, like it's hard to shake it. Like they become, maybe they're more likely to be convinced of something. Yeah, that's really not true, right? That they're another gender than a regular person. Just a theory, though. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. Not that a doctor would. Like, a bunch of doctors think this shit's normal. But that's my theory. My theory is just that like obsession, or just single-mindedness. And so it's like they get that maybe they just get it in their head and then they really latch onto it. And so they become trans. Possibly. Don't know for sure, though. Kelly, so I don't want to dox Kelly, but Kelly says easier for them to fall victim to the trans movement. Maybe susceptibility to like cult. Maybe it's also like a susceptibility to maybe cult-like thinking, possibly. Or just thinking that one thing is like the answer. I don't know for sure. But I know it's a thing. Yeah, I wondered. I was like, oh, wow, that's weird. I wonder, like, I sometimes think, I was like, I wonder if I could have been. Don't know. But it is true. You like do end up with sort of, I don't know, but I can only talk about my own experience, and I have no idea what makes people trans. I know what people say when I know what trans people say. I mean, I know a lot of trans people say, I don't want to be gay. I know a lot of people say that. And so I spend a lot of time talking about that. It's kind of like talking to a brick wall, but I spend a lot of time talking about that just because, like, I believe, I see it. I see a bunch of trans people and people who detransition and stuff. They're like, oh, I just didn't want to be gay. Like, why didn't I just? And so I like that it just makes me sad because I don't care if somebody's gay. I've told you guys, like, it's not my thing, but I certainly don't care. And I certainly think it's like an easier life. But anyway, so Jay says, LTV, I don't know who Jared Taylor is. Yeah, I haven't even thought about doing interviews. We're on like a total reboot of this thing, whatever it is. So I have no idea what's going on. Trying to make some friends and stuff. And, not have enemies. That was my problem with who, like, if this person is behind the Nick Fuentes op, like, I'm actually just bothered to have somebody powerful that hates me for a reason that I actually just think isn't true, Like, I don't want people to, but yeah, maybe we'll have people on the show. I'm trying to meet interesting people. Mostly I like people who are like small audiences and stuff. That's like mostly what I'm into. People who are different. But I like famous people too, but I can't get famous people on the show. I've tried. I don't know who Jared Taylor is, though. Oh, Provo Kid, you're a smaller podcaster? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, if we can figure out a way to do it. Yeah, I just have to figure out, like, my days just really busy lately. Like, I feel like I just wake up, get ready, stream, eat, go drive, for DoorDash and stuff. And then that's it. Like, go to sleep. Like, I barely have time for anything else. And I'm just all about, with the way crypto is and stuff, the way the dollar is, I'm just trying to figure out, like, I really feel like I need to make as much money as possible, because if I can buy Bitcoin, I just feel like there's maybe a way out of this situation if I can just buy enough Bitcoin or gold or silver or something, silver to whatever, diversify. So yeah, that's cool, man. I appreciate the sentiment. That's good. It's good for people to want to collaborate with me. I'm always shocked. I was always like, why does nobody? I always thought to myself, I'm pretty interesting. Like, why don't people have me on? Why don't people ask me to come on their show? Well, that's cool. You asked me to come on. You think I'm interesting. Provo, I don't use Instagram. DM me on Telegram is the best, but then I'd have to give out my Telegram DM, or Twitter. Twitter's safe. I don't use Instagram though. I mean, I'm on there, but I might not see it. So DM me on Twitter if you're going to use a social media app. And then remember that every message you send on Twitter is could be monitored by almost anybody who works at Twitter. So that's the problem. Sometimes I make like off-color jokes in Twitter chats, and then I have to like disavow myself just in case somebody goes in and reads it later, or somebody decides to share my text messages, say I'm a racist or something, anti-Semite. I say stuff that's off color, but that's the crazy thing. Like, I actually don't like hateful people. I actually don't like people who are genuinely like anti-Semitic. Like I don't like that. But people don't get it. TSC Jedi says, come on, Nathan, remember when you went live with Quinn Michaels and Mount Shasta? Yeah, those were crazy times. Wow, crazy times. I saw him live streaming with like 2 people tuned in. Those are the days, man. TSC Jedi. Let's see. Let's get back to that. Those days. I was pretty popular. I remember. I was telling somebody, I was like, I almost don't want to talk to anyone who's trying to be popular anymore. You know? Because it just screws you up. So I almost tell, I'm like, oh, you don't want to be popular. Like that comes with problems. Jimmy Verman says, this is true. Jimmy Verman says, Nathan, you've interviewed a number of famous or semi-famous people. Yeah, I'm really interested in people. I've done a pretty good job. You know, sometimes I've gotten to people before they were famous. Like Nick Fuentes, I had on ages and ages ago when he was just coming up in the world. Like right after, like he was banned from YouTube, I think, when he was still on D Live and stuff, when he was still pretty young. Nick Fuentes, I've had on pretty good guests. Baked. The Sandy Hook guy. Sometimes I forget names. It'll come to me though. The Wolfgang. Had him on. That was a big guest. I've had on the guy from the High Wire. I've had on the other guy that used to be on Alex Jones a lot. The guy that's like medical specialized. I had him on. I've had a lot of people, but not lately. But people prefer it when, people want to come on when you're doing great. People want to come on when a lot of people are tuning in. That's why they want to come on. Oh, Zach Voorhees is cool. He comes on. He's cool. He's got a conspiracy theory about the death in New York. In San Francisco. He thinks it's a assassination op. So I should probably cover that. Thanks, Jimmy. It's true. Maybe one day. Don't know. Who knows? I feel like something. I don't know, man. Somebody's gonna figure it out. Somebody's gonna be like, oh, this guy. Adam Green. That's right. David Icke. Andrew Kaufman. John McAfee. You guys got it. Yeah, David Icke. That was cool. I thought I had a good interview with David Icke. I didn't ridicule him. I don't know. I mean, he deserves it, though. I mean, saying COVID was fake, it's so embarrassing. That's the thing. It's like, there are still people out there. It's just like, and Andrew Kaufman and stuff. I mean, it's just like, really? Come on. Like, who takes that seriously? So, yeah, I did tell, and I was concerned about the virus too, which actually at the beginning it was way worse. So, like, people who got the early virus got pretty sick. But yeah, I was more concerned than I should have been. But then again, I didn't change my behavior much, so I must not have been that crazy. I still did stuff. I didn't wear a mask everywhere. I mean, I wore a mask in stores and stuff, but eventually I stopped doing that once I learned they didn't work. But I thought I had a good interview with David Icke. I just thought, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, man. It's just, I don't know. Sometimes, like, I'm into conspiracy theories. I believe people have a right to express themselves. And I wish David Icke's video calling COVID a hoax wasn't deleted, even though like everybody saw it and people started to, people believed it. 5G and stuff. Remember the 5G? I mean, come on, man. People were talking about 5G. I mean, it's like, obviously that narrative disappeared. So it is embarrassing, right? It should be. But nobody holds it against them, but I do. Because it's stupid. But but I still appreciate David Icke. Still watched a bunch of his stuff. But I don't know. I don't know, man. I just can't like suck up to every conspiracy, you know? And I find it, but that's one of the reasons we're resetting. Oh, that's the reason we have a smaller show too. Shadowbox. No, I didn't work for Shadowbox, TFC Jedi. No, I didn't work for Shadowbox. No, but Thomas Schoenberger approached me, and I believe they were going to make me the face of Cicada. I think that was going to be the deal. Like I was supposed to go over and have lunch with Thomas Schoenberger at some like really nice property nearby. Either he was from around here or the house he was living in was around here. So yes, they were planning to approach me as like some kind of, and I think I might have gotten sucked into some of their ops. The way I got sucked into this latest op on Ali, looks like. But I mean, even though I don't care, but people like send you stuff, you don't realize it's an op till later. So, but now I never worked for Shadowbox, man. I'm not into that political stuff. Or I'm not into the dirty tricks. Just not into dirty tricks, behind the scenes manipulation crap. It's not my thing. Patriot Soapbox. Yeah, that was the other QAnon. God, QAnon. Holy crap. Talk about embarrassing stuff. QAnon. Yeah, everybody fell for that. I was debunking that. People hated me. All those grifters. So funny. Now that guy, Jordan Sather, it's made me laugh. Jordan Sather just pushed QAnon relentlessly, even though I was pretty sure he knew it was fake. He was just doing it for clicks or, And now Jordan Sather is out there saying, oh, you guys are conspiracy theorists. Like he debunks stuff now. I was thinking, okay, well, I appreciate that, but what's up? So the QAnon thing. Yeah, it's weird. Like I have like a dual nature. I have a dual nature. Like I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I'm also a debunker. So I actually talk, like I'm kind of like, I talked to this one person who's like just a debunker on Twitter, and he debunks stuff that is, that I totally believe. Like he's a debunker about everything, 9/11, moon landings. But I still understand the mentality of a debunker, because I've always been that a little bit. Actually, I've always been that. Like, actually, the thing is I used to hate conspiracy theorists. I just thought it was so stupid. So I remember making fun of people about 9/11 stuff back in the day. But then I found out, I was like, oh. And then I apologized to those people. It's like, oh, wow, I found out about it. I didn't realize I was being a jerk. So, yes, it's in my nature. SGT report. Man, I know, man. And that's like, what can you say? That's the problem. It's like, That's the problem, is like, oh, you can't even say. There's so many things. Like, there are things people advertise where I looked into it. There's something SGT report advertised. There's this thing called a Patriot flashlight, actually. And it was like, the way they sold it was like, oh, we'll give you 50% off with this code, Patriot flashlight. And they said the market price was like $120 or something. So they sold it for $60. Let's say, I don't know exactly the numbers, but that's close. Patriot flashlight. And it was like 50% off, right? $60, something like that. SGT report was pushing it. I saw it on other channels too. And then I found the exact flashlight, which you could buy in bulk from China or on Amazon. Like, you could buy the exact flashlight on Amazon for $20, just one. And they were selling for at least 3 times as much on this, and calling it a Patriot flashlight, you know, to sell it. But really, it was like a just, it wasn't made special. It was just something that's produced in bulk, sold as different brands. They just bought it in bulk. You could buy it in bulk from China for like $10, something like that, maybe less. And I thought about it. I was like, oh God, it's like, it makes me want to expose. Like, it makes me want to expose them. But then it's SGT report. Like, I don't have a problem with SGT report. Like, I don't know. And I don't want to start beef. But some of these sponsorships, man, some of these sponsors people have are so so scammy, and people are taking advantage of patriots by saying patriot, or they take advantage of Christians by saying Christian. And like, you want to say something, but then again, people are going to do what they're going to do, I guess. But that's all. That's why I'm always skeptical of people who preach a certain thing but are just totally different. Like, people who say they're Catholic but like hate, like, hate Jews, gays, blacks, women, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm Catholic. Doesn't even. Or they say like gays should be rounded up and stuff, and they're gay. So, all right, here we go. Ready? Beamer Busker, stripes and stars flashlight. Oh my God, I've seen so many scammy ads. Oh my God, it's crazy. Even if I got sponsored by a gold company, and I think people should buy gold or silver or whatever it is, the people I've seen who are sponsored by those companies, they end up having to run ads for products that aren't actually a good investment. Like, so they try to sell you on the shit they make money off of, like copper commemorative Trump coins or something. $30, where you could buy an ounce of silver for $30 and it'll go up in value. That's why, I guess that's why I said Joe Rogan was a sellout for the Bud Light thing, because he doesn't need the money. He doesn't need it, Like, I don't respond to every freaking NFT. I don't even have that many followers, but I still get emails. Oh, do you want to collaborate? Do you want to promote this scammy crypto something or other? We'll pay you and stuff. I mean, no, it's crazy, but other people do. Those established titles, that was a scam. Established titles was a scam. And that's what was sponsoring a lot of the shows on Daily Wire. So Daily Wire just isn't really particularly careful about who they choose to sponsor their stuff. Which, on one hand, I don't blame them. Like, they're paying you. And they pay more if it's more of a scam. But they're pushing on people. Established titles. It's just a scam, basically. Nobody has to apologize. Nobody cares. Because nobody calls them out on their own side. All right. You want the... Do you want... Let's see. Oh, shit. I got to go. I got to go in 15 minutes. I got to do a crypto consultation. So let me see if I got any coffees. We talked about various stuff. Oh, damn. Wow. Shit. Wow. Okay. That's cool. Okay. That's cool. I did get thank you for the $10 super chat. The person gave me that. Appreciate you. Let me view that again so I can thank you by name. Thank you over on Rockfin. You guys are holding that up. Thank you very much. Tip from Vogan Filter coming through twice. Vogan Filter says, to me, you seem like the easiest person to disagree with. That's a compliment. Thank you. Thank you. Jacob's Ladder, thank you for the tip. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys, over on Rockfin for... Thank you. And if you want to give a coffee to support the stream, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. I have to finish early because I'm doing I do crypto consulting also, and I have an appointment, so I have to do that. And if you want to sign up though for crypto consulting, I'm thinking that might become a thing that people want more now that crypto is going up. I did say something. I did mention Bitcoin a while ago. It really has been pumping. I don't know if it's going to go up forever, but silver, gold, I mean, all that stuff's done really well. But yeah, if you need help with crypto, I am an expert. I have been doing it for a long time. I really enjoy doing the one-on-one stuff. People really seem to get a lot out of it. So if you need it, and it's not that hard to get crypto, you can figure it out yourself. I've done enough videos about it and everything. But if you need help, I can talk. I can give you advice for security, storage, purchasing, etc. You can go to bitcoinmissionary.com. Bitcoinmissionary.com. You can book an appointment. But I actually might have to change my schedule on there. You can also reach out to me on Twitter with a direct message. My DMs are open. And just ask. But yeah, if you need help with that, that's cool. Yeah, that's a good way. Like if that gets busy, man, that'd be great. I love doing that. I love helping people out. I think that's like my favorite thing to do. I like solving problems. Like that's my favorite thing to do. Like helping someone else solve a problem. Like that makes me feel good. So yeah, if you guys want any of that. Okay, let me try to give you the news in 10 minutes. Also, you can buy t-shirts at truthclothing.io, and you can still donate to the stream. I should have a goal every stream, but that's okay. At least I have a real gig today after this, so it's okay. And some people are going to buy t-shirts too. So that's cool. I got to ship some out today. Oh, hey, insert name here. Oh, okay, cool. Insert name here is the person I'm talking to. Okay, cool. I didn't know if I'd be able to reach you. Okay, that's cool. Insert name here. You can thank that person. I still have to finish up by a certain time. I have to think of the things I have to get done today. But things are going okay. Things are going okay. Yeah, I was just thinking, man, like the dollar stuff, like the financial stuff, like everything's coming to fruition. The dollar's really is going down kind of every day. And this whole thing with BRICS and what the Saudis did, I mean, it's actually really, it's what people predicted, but now it happened. So, yeah, I just want to get out like of this reality, you know? Yeah, I think crypto might be the way out. I'm not sure, but I think so. Bitcoin, man. So I want to get more of that, more Ethereum. Ethereum really went up too. Yeah. Yeah, I was really excited yesterday. But that's the thing. I have to remind myself, like, oh, you get obsessed with things. That's why I have to remind myself all the time. Like, I'm a person who has some like things that make me think differently, sometimes incorrectly. But because of that, I'm always trying to monitor myself for when I might be thinking incorrectly, like when I might be deluded about something. So that's how I try to. That's why I'm careful. Like the way I look at things, it's like, oh, I really might be wrong. You know, that's how I feel about things. It's like I might really think I'm totally right, but I could be wrong about certain things. Other things I know, you know, and when I know, like, I'll be a dick about it. But I've been wrong, like super wrong. So I'm aware that once in a while that happens. So I try to be extra careful, and I try to listen. And I try to listen to people if they tell me I'm crazy or something. I try to listen. I'm like, okay, well maybe I am, you know, because I have been before, so it's possible. So that's the way I try to approach things. It's like I've been wrong. I could be wrong, but then again, I look around and everybody's delusional, you know? Like sometimes I think like what's the difference between being delusional where you think like, I don't know, people are after you or some crazy, you know, like something that's not true, or you think like what's the difference between that and thinking that men can be women or that children can decide what gender they are, you know? It's like one they call a mental illness and one is like commonly accepted reality, you know? Thanks for the coffee, Spaldo. Thanks for promoting the coffee. I'll pin that. Thank you. Jimmy says, what's your thoughts on the possibility of Mexico joining BRICS? I don't know. But yeah, I was thinking about the currency thing. I was like, it's like, wow, it's like really happened. Like, I can't believe the Saudis, and we're not invading them. Like normally if people stop using the dollar, like we invade your country. But now they all ganged up on us. Like everybody all at once. But normally, I mean, Saudi Arabia, like I thought we had a deal. I thought that was like the whole thing. Like we give them all our military equipment, we support them, we back them up, even with their human rights violations and stuff, Saudi Arabia. And they're going to turn on us and start selling oil and other currencies. Like, yeah, I thought that was like the whole deal. Was that they always sell oil in dollars. Now it's different. Possibility of Mexico? I don't know. Sure. People hate America. It's our fault. If we hadn't done that stuff to Russia, I don't think this stuff would have happened. Not this quickly. I mean, of course, there are benefits, like there are obvious benefits to not being dependent on the American dollar and what we can do with it, you know, because we can print it out of thin air, and obviously we do. We can sanction people. But once we did that stuff to Russia, then who would want to be, who would want to take the risk? of having stuff in dollars. If like we just say, oh no, it's, you know, like we did to Russia, we just stole their money. We were just like, oh yeah, we're just gonna keep it. What's that, man? That's crazy. Other countries notice that. We're like, okay, well, one day we might be on the wrong side of United States orthodoxy or whatever. So maybe we should think about it. But there are risks, though. Like the yuan isn't. The yuan is just horrible fiat, also. And the Chinese government is just like so not transparent. I mean, America still has things going for it. People, you know, it's good not to get too myopic about that. Like America still has things going for it. Mostly, I know it's crazy, but mostly the government doesn't just lie about like economic facts and stuff. I mean, God, it's so stupid. It's so weird to say that because they still lie, but not like China. China will just say whatever, you know, they're totally untrustworthy. So I don't know if the yuan or the ruble or these other currencies are better than the dollar. The dollar might really be safer. So they're taking a big risk, dumping the dollar, I think. But I explained the advantages of it, and that's what they decided. They were like, oh no, the risks of staying with the dollar are worse than the risks of breaking off. But there are risks. That currency could fail. I mean, just as easily, if not easier. China's got its own problems, so yuan's not great. That's why I like gold, because it's even if the United States doesn't go to a gold standard, which they're not going to do anytime soon, China could, or an authoritarian government could, like China, and they have lots of gold too. So, like, if their currency starts to wobble, which you totally could, because they got serious issues, then they could back it with gold. That's what I'm thinking. And if they do that, then gold's going up. Yeah, the price of gold will just double, at least, probably in a day, at least. There's no way they mark it at 2,000. They'll mark it at 5 or 10. But all right. So there's that. Okay. We got a reprieve. So let's see. Is there really important stuff? Oh, Kim Iverson. Okay. Controversy. Okay, let's talk about controversy. Okay, let's cover the news quickly. What did I put in the title? Ye24 canceled, MrBeast drama, real news. Okay, we've delivered on real news. Every time there's real news. MrBeast drama, we talked about. Yeah. Ye24 canceled. Well, we said he quit his campaign. I can read a statement though. Let's see. Breaking. According to a documentarian Kanye West contracted to follow his political campaign, Ye24 is no more. Quote, anyone that is representing Ye in any political capacity is a charlatan. There is no political shop. That's according to a documentarian, Kanye West. Why are they still calling him Kanye West, man? I don't know. Like, that's why I do. Like, people aren't consistent. Well, I guess for RPG, whatever, maybe he doesn't respect him. It's disrespectful. I know it's weird, but he changed his name. He wants to go by Ye. He is officially Ye. Like, if you call him Kanye West, he finds that offensive, and it's actually technically incorrect. But people still do. So, I don't know. It's weird. I just think if I was in the news, I would be like, well, his name, it like technically, technically, if you want to tell the truth, His name is Ye. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being technical though. I think people don't do it because it doesn't, because it's harder. Well, I have a theory, but I think people use Kanye West because that's what people search for, and that's what keywords work better. Because actually, Ye as a keyword sucks because it's like hardly a word. So like if you Google, I don't know, if you Google Ye, I guess it comes up with Kanye West stuff, but it's a lot more specific to say Kanye West rather than 2 letters, which could be the beginning of any word. I think that's why people do it, but I don't know. RPG says RPG Red Pill Gang is somebody who used to follow Fuentes and is anti-Fuentes. Anyway, according to a documentarian, Kanye West contracted to follow his political campaign. Ye24 is no more. Quote, anyone that is representing Ye in any political capacity is a charlatan. There is no political shop. This is from the article. Camacho recalled West telling him he was too focused on other ventures like the sushi-only Donda Academy. That's funny. Quote, right now I am living my life like I'm concentrating on the school, the Donda Academy, and my new wife. But he's not really married. God, that was so fast. See, he's bipolar, which I can relate to. So he does stuff that's crazy too. Like, man, like, what do you mean new wife? You just got divorced. Really? My kids and that's it. Unquote. West told Camacho, according to the filmmaker, quote, I just want to be left alone, unquote. Quote, he's not focusing on any of the political stuff right now, unquote. The producer continued. Another person who spoke with West about his candidacy said the rapper's political operation is no more. Quote, his interests are focused on his children, family, and creative endeavors, unquote, said the person who spoke to the Daily Beast on the condition of anonymity due to their closeness to the rapper. Oh, okay. Who is that? I wonder if that's Milo. But I'm not sure because Milo's not. Milo wouldn't have inside information because he got kicked out of the campaign. Quote, his interests are focused on his children, family, and creative endeavors, unquote, said the person who spoke to the Daily Beast on the condition of anonymity due to their closeness to the rapper. Okay, whatever. So that's the news. Covered it, not clickbait. We covered the MrBeast drama a little bit. There is this government leaker. That's an interesting story, which I don't know much about, and I don't have an angle on it. Some people are saying it's a Fed op of some sort. But the documents, like people are saying the guy that they arrested couldn't have possibly had access to the documents. And then they were released in a Discord, and they're saying, oh, in the Discord they posted racist memes. Well, I post racist memes in my Discord too. But like, actually, I don't like racists. It's really weird. Like, I don't like racism, but sometimes I say stuff that people think is racist, or sometimes statistics. Like I said something to my wife that she found offensive that I didn't even mean to, but it had to do with race and like SAT scores. I didn't mean to be. I was just like, oh no, I'm not trying to be offensive. Like, first of all, SAT score isn't everything, IQ and stuff isn't everything. But there are some statistics. Like I realized there are some facts, like it's just like this guy is mad at me for like being a Holocaust denier or whatever. When I just have like an autistic obsession with like a number. And actually, like, I don't hate Jews. But for some reason, it's like saying certain things that don't have anything to do with being hateful. People interpret as being hateful. Like, I don't know. People might think if you say black people don't score as well on the SAT, people might think you're being racist, but it's just true. It's not like, and I'm not even making judgment about it. In fact, I made a whole argument the other day about why it might make sense for private schools to change their admission standards or lower their standards to let in a more diverse. But I still like know some things are true, but it's almost like certain things are true. Like you can't say they're too offensive, even though they're totally true. And I don't even know. So, all right, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so hopefully I didn't. Anyway, yeah, this whole op to expose Nick is something else. I'm gonna look into it. All right, what time is it? 12:04. Okay, so I covered that news. Oh, big news. Okay, big controversial news. And Kim Iverson is being controversial. Kim Iverson is a right-wing influencer. Well, I don't know a whole lot about her, but I categorize her as a right-wing influencer. But she calls herself an independent thinker. But she recently came out and was apologetic to the brands that sponsored Dylan Mulvaney. I was like, oh wow, that's controversial to say. But I'm like, oh, I mean, I get it. Like, I get the argument, but it is controversial to say. And also, like, I kind of disagree. Like, I do think people have a point with Dylan Mulvaney, and that's why I thought Joe Rogan was, shouldn't have taken the ad and stuff. So I disagree with her. So I was like, interesting that she said that. Interesting. So now something passed in Florida. So like, let's take the most controversial issue, abortion. So in Florida, they restricted abortion to 6 weeks. I guess I don't know if it's been signed yet, but the legislature passed a bill limiting abortion to 6 weeks. And actually, I was looking at a map last night, and the map is crazy. The map, yeah, in fact, I'd have to fact check the map, because it basically said there are states. Basically, it looks like this. The map looked like this. It was like there are states with no restrictions on abortion, and then there are states where it's completely illegal. And there's like one state, like Arizona, is like 15 weeks or something, which is like what most of the world is, approximately 14, 15, 12, whatever. Even Catholic countries and stuff. So, like, you would think in a reasonable world where some people think it should be banned entirely, some people think it shouldn't have any limitations, that there would be some kind of compromise, where like neither side is totally happy. But I thought, like, when you think in a reasonable world, that's the way things would happen. I'm not even good, like, I'm just not going to make a moral argument at all about it. Just saying, like, if you ban it, people do it anyway. Like, that's a fact. If you ban it, people do it anyway. There are doctors that'll do it, whatever. It's more unsafe. It's just like banning guns, right? Like, people say, oh yeah, it's crazy to ban guns because bad people still get guns. Well, if you ban abortions, people still get abortions. They'll figure it out, So if people are going to do it anyway, then my I don't know, my crazy thoughts are, well, at least make it safe. And if you're going to make a lot, like at least limit it to something reasonable. So you're not having these crazy, like late term abortions, like just because somebody decides to. Then at least, but no, that's not the standard apparently anywhere. I have to fact check the map. But anyway, so Florida limited it to 6 weeks. 6 weeks. I mean, again, I'm not going to make a moral argument. But politically, I think two things about it is that it means, I think, if DeSantis signs it, he did sign it last night. Oh, sorry, he did sign it. That's the tweet I saw. So I think it means that DeSantis is going to run for president, because it means he's trying to win the primary, and to win the primary, more extreme positions are better. So he's trying to, make a stance, take a stand, a strong stand on abortion, even though it doesn't, it doesn't represent actually the what people think in the state. And that's the other thing about it, is it probably doesn't represent the overall like consensus view. I know there's not a consensus, but most people, I think that's true. Most people agree on limits. Most people agree on limits and like limits. Like that's what most people agree on. They're like legal with limits. That's what most people agree on. But 6 weeks, I mean, yeah, it's like, I mean, I understand. Like, the woman doesn't even know she's pregnant probably. So it really isn't enough time. So anyway, while it may be good for Ron DeSantis in the primary, which if I had to guess, that's why he did it, was to win the primary and take a strong stance on abortion. It's not good in the general, Actually, Republicans kind of lost. Republicans kind of lost already, in the last election over the abortion issue. And it seemed like Florida was I thought Florida was doing like a 15-week thing. I thought, okay, well, that makes sense. That's like middle of the road. Yeah, going nowhere near a moral argument. I'm just saying politically, it backfired. I predicted, I was like, oh, the only thing that is going to screw up chances for Republicans is if the Supreme Court strikes down Roe v. Wade, which I believe is the correct decision. So without even making an argument about whether it was correct, I did say the only way Republicans can lose is if the Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade, because then Democrats are going to be like, oh, which is what happened. And the abortion issue was bad, politically for Republicans, even though I think the Supreme Court did the right thing. And I think the states can decide, right? The states can decide. But it makes the argument easier. I mean, Republicans are doing things that are not that are not good for, that just that aren't kind of mainstream. That's all. They're doing stuff that they want to do that doesn't reflect well on them, or it's just kind of politically dumb. This one, we'll see, but I think it's a little extreme. And I was just going to show you that Kim Iverson was making strong statements about it, and she is a real woman, as far as I can tell. Kim Iverson. So here's her tweet. I'll show you. Kim Iverson says, I've thought about moving to Florida, but will no longer consider it now that it has backwards anti-woman laws. Teen pregnancy rates are going to explode. In a few years, foster rates are going to explode. And the people who claim adoption is an option will not be adopting. Then she says, there are pipe dreams and then there are facts. Okay. So, I understand the position. Like I said, I think politically, I don't know. I just think 15 weeks, something like that. Something like what they do in Europe and crap everywhere else. At least it's a limit, you know. Some people, we understand, don't want any abortions at all. Because that's the thing about 6 weeks, you know, is if it's a life, that's the other thing. I'm not sure I totally understand why the timing. I mean, I understand, you know, more developed and stuff, more like I get it. I understand. But then again, what is 6 weeks like? If people can still get abortions, it's still murder, right? Like, it's still a murder one way or the other. If you think abortion is murder, so whether it's 6 weeks or what, unless it's banned, then it's still murder, whether it's 6 weeks or 15 weeks. You know, so it's not like people are satisfied now that abortion is illegal. It's still legal to kill babies. You know, according, if that's what you believe. Doesn't matter. Life starts at conception, right? So 6 weeks or not, it's still so practically speaking, you know, I get where she's coming from. But then again, her prediction may be kind of hyperbolic because she's maybe not taking into account that people could just go to another state, you know, which probably they'll do, you know. That's the thing is when people make drastic predictions, they don't necessarily think it's like, okay, yes, theoretically, if people held to the law, and first of all, there might be doctors that still do it. You know, there's illegally, it's possible. That's what used to happen. When it was totally illegal, doctors would still do it. So they still might be able to find a doctor that can do it. There might be like an underground network. They still might be able to get pills, even though the pills are kind of outlawed and stuff. But the pills work till, I think the pills work till like 10 weeks. So, I mean, if somebody's really committed to getting an abortion, you know, like, I don't know how much it's going to result in unwanted births, you know, like forced birth. I feel like, okay, you leave the state. I mean, I realize it's expensive and all that stuff, but I'm sure they're going to set up networks and ways I mean, you know, people are so pro abortion. Like California, I mean, what did we say? We're going to like pay people's travel expenses and crap. Like, I think in California, they're creating a fund to pay people's travel expenses to have an abortion if they can't get it in their state. So abortion is still going to be legal somewhere in America, like somewhere you could drive to if you're committed. So I think it's I do think it's fear mongering kind of to say, oh, it's just going to result in all these extra babies and stuff. I think probably if people are still committed to not having a baby, they'll probably figure it out one way or the other. I mean, so which is, you know, the argument against like banning it too is like people will probably still figure it out one way or the other. They'll figure out how to get pills. You know, people are sending these hormones to kids. You're going to be able to find those pills. I'm sure of it somehow. So people are going to sell them online or something, black market. So I don't think it's like the end of the world. like she claims. But I understand I understand the idea. I understand and she's a woman, so we should respect her opinion. She's the kind of person who might, have, who would be eligible for an abortion. Oh, if men could get abortions. So anyway, that's that controversial issue. But yeah, I just think Republicans are doing things that aren't really in their interest. Trump is one of them. Like Trump, independents and independents mostly don't like and won't vote for, and Democrats certainly not. So I feel like that's a mistake. Like DeSantis, I think, has more appeal, or did have more appeal, even though they'll demonize him. But then the thing in Tennessee was just like boneheaded. I mean, those guys are back in the Senate anyway, and now they're stars, those dummies. And that was really boneheaded. Like, I don't know how they couldn't see that. They turned these like nobodies into big like stars for the Democratic Party. I mean, they might end up being congressmen because of that stunt. And they ended up back in the office anyway. Oh God, like what an L. Like that was a complete L. It just makes you look dumb. Like, why bother, man? You could have just left them alone. And I don't know. It's like, I guess they felt so vindictive or something. They were like, oh yeah, guys got their seats right back. From what I understand, they just got voted back in. So that didn't work. And then it's just backlash. Makes you seem like people say, oh yeah, look at these Republicans, they're so authoritarian. It's like, if you feed into that narrative, okay, I've got identified. Okay, hopefully the person who has my appointment, let's do it at 12:30. Okay, let me see if I have my Zoom. Let me open my Zoom and see if it's cool. There it is. But yeah, that's a controversial issue. Yeah, I think Kim Iverson, it was weird because she did come out and defend. It's weird, you're getting different divisions and stuff. I'm looking at it like I'm following all of it, just seeing who's on what team. Because then I saw Cernovich defending Ali just a few days ago. And I was like, why is he doing that? Like, and also hardly anybody's calling out Ali on the right, as far as I can tell. Like big accounts are calling out Ali. Like, who's calling him out? Open Secret. And what's his name? Milo is posting on Gab, Open Secret's post. So they're talking about it, certainly. But they're supposedly not political. But otherwise, I haven't seen. No, it's just surprising. Almost nobody called out Joe Rogan. Almost nobody. Although I did see, I have to see what Tim Pool said, actually. I have to see what Tim Pool said about it. I have to see what Tim Pool said. I have to see his take. I don't know what it was, actually. And the Quartering covered it, too. I'll have to see his take, too. I didn't see what their takes were. But I didn't see many people. I just thought, I was like, oh my God, people are going to crucify Joe Rogan, but nope. Almost nobody did. I think I know why. I think it's because they're like, oh, I might end up, I want to be on the Joe Rogan show, so I'm not going to say anything bad about him. I think. I don't know. But yeah, almost nobody talking about that. Almost nobody talking about Ali. All right. Oh, no way. Roger Stone, what the hell? Really? Oh, that's funny. Roger Stone is tweeting about how there's growing interest in a Trump-Kennedy ticket. Well, I don't see. I just actually, as cool as Kennedy is, he's running as a Democrat. Like, Democrats don't like him or his beliefs. So, but as a Republican, okay. Yeah, but he wouldn't run with Trump. Like, he wouldn't run with Trump. There's no way he would run with Trump. There's no way. I don't think. There's no way. I'll show you the tweet anyway. Somebody shared it with me. There's no way he'd run with Trump. I can't see it. I just don't think I mean, I'm sure he doesn't like Trump. That's what I'm guessing. Jelena says Milo is your favorite right-wing grifter. Jelena, I gotta. Yeah. I can't talk about it too much. I like Milo for his intelligence, for his sense of humor. I like Milo for those things, for his intelligence and his sense of humor. I appreciate that. But some of the tactics and stuff are a little like the way he turns on people and the blackmail and all that. I can't really endorse that. So, but Milo, I appreciate his grift. Let me check to see if I have. Let me see is there anything else I have to do before the show's over. Thank you guys for tuning in for a really interesting week of shows. I'm curious if there's any segment I put. I basically one per I don't have time, but obviously nobody else is doing it. Normally you'd pay somebody, which actually I'm talking to somebody, but he's busy or something. I have no idea. But actually it's crazy because I would what would I normally you pay somebody to do something that's profitable, like making videos and putting them on YouTube, but all my videos are demonetized anyway. So I don't see how they could be profitable. That's what's crazy. Like most people are like, oh yeah. So you pay somebody, cut up your videos, then they're monetized. So you actually make money off of it. So it pays for itself. Somebody has to start a new channel or something. I feel like. I'm not sure. And then somehow have stuff monetized. I don't know how. Jaron says he does it. But anyway, yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm doing these long shows. I have no idea what's interesting because what I'm interested in is frequently what annoys people. And then what I don't realize is super interesting. People have to tell me. TikTok, whatever. Andrew Tate. I want to be like Andrew Tate. Somehow. Totally. No, I don't know how. I mean, I don't really. All right. Got to wrap up. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Cool. I feel good. We kept 100 people tuned in. That's good. Yesterday, people were tuning out. That's good. Great. Thanks for joining me for the show. We're going to try to do it. I don't know about the weekend. Let's see if I do any streams. If I do, I have no idea when it might be. We have guests coming, actually. But during the week, sometime between 10 and 11, the show should start. So, and hopefully you can tune in, and then hopefully you can also support the show the only way I know how, by getting super chats. Or if you need help with crypto, then that's great because that's the best. That's my maximized time. So if you need help with crypto, yeah, message me on Twitter Or if you go to bitcoinmissionary.com, you can book a session, just like insert name here did. So thanks, guys. Oh, thanks, Short Cipher. Look near breaking news. Okay, I'll check my email. Thank you. Also, Telegram, t.me/liftthebell401. Twitter, liftthebell401. And yeah, and my DMs are open on Twitter. And I have an email, but my email I'm not as good at. Okay. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Good to see you. Good week. And we'll see you the next time, whenever it might be. For now, that's what it is.